Alright, so I just wanted to address something that I feel is more so of an issue more than just kind of I don't even know how to put this. People, I don't know. I think people blow everything out of proportion nowadays, and not only that, but social media blow everyone. Everything just blown out of fucking proportion, bro. Everything is fucking terrible. Now, it obviously hasn't happened to me because I haven't even stated anything controversial. If you look back at all my other channel videos, I really don't say much about the world because nothing has really happened before up until like 2020 and on. I mean, there's been little glimpses of how fucked this world is, like, before that, like, little sprinkles of things in, but not much until more recently. Like, it's been bad these past 2 years, and I've been noticing it, too. Like, it's bad. And I used to be like a good fucking kid. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's just terrible. Everything's fucking changed for me. In just the past, even just the past few more months, so I have a bunch of videos pulled up here that I've seen a few of them. Most I haven't. Some I've skimmed through. Some I've kind of seen little bits. I've seen like the first part of some, and then like, okay, this is important. People need to see this shit, right? And I'm not trying to be a wannabe fucking Sneeko or Tate. So if you don't like them, that's fine. Personally, I think that neither of them are bad people. They haven't done anything wrong, and that's fine. I'm not on here to spread controversy, as people like to say it. We have proof and facts that Tate didn't do anything wrong. So, because there's literally a video of his ex-girlfriend, of, you know, the video where everyone was like, oh my god, he's beating this girl. And sorry if I look like shit, by the way. My allergies are fucking terrible. I'm taking a fat L right now for having fucking seasonal allergies. Like, this is fucking terrible. Basically, in the video, she said she wanted to clear things up. She wanted to make sure everybody knows she wasn't actually being beaten or hurt. No one was hurt. That was their kink shit, right? Like, everyone has their own thing that they like to do in the bedroom, will per se, okay? So, and I mean, that is true, right? Like, you can't deny that. But because everyone's so fucking, everyone's just so dumb. Like, straight up, everyone's so dumb nowadays that, like, they just believe every fucking thing they see. Now, I'm not trying to say, like, I'm trying to sound like a fucking boomer and just say, oh, don't believe what they tell you. But, I mean, a lot of it isn't true. A lot of it is not true. I'll tell you that much. So, what I wanted to actually get into here was reacting to some videos. I have a playlist pulled up of videos that I wanted to react to, and since I already have a bit of a following on here, I figured I might as well spread the message on here because it's a lot of this shit is really important for people to know. Like, this is not something to just kind of ignore and fucking push away and act like everybody's fine. Everybody's not fine. Everybody's not. It is not fine. Some of the shit that I have been watching, the shit that I have been seeing, it's not like grotesque, it's not like violent, it's not gory, but I mean, people are just dumb. I'm not, I get as mad as you want. It's fucking true. People are fucking dumb now. And I'm talking more specifically about Gen Z, my generation. I'm only fucking 16. I never thought that we'd come to this. I'm not gonna lie. I never thought we'd come to this as a society. But there's these, you know what? There's these few fucking kids in one of my classes that used to fucking say that all the time. They'd say, we live in a society. And at this point, it fucking sucks. It literally fucking sucks. So without wasting much more time, because all I want to do is spread truth and awareness about this shit, because it's just fucking ridiculous. And I figured I need to address it, and I want more people to know about it, because again, it is important that people know about this. You can call me a wannabe all you want. Go ahead. But, in a video we will watch another time, Sneeko has specifically stated, any other YouTubers that are like-minded, like I am, help me spread the message and spread the word. And that is exactly what I'm doing.
Our affiliate team, our army of TikTok people, will cut it all up from your stream and share that everywhere as well. So it'll be good promo for you, bro.
You heard it. The HU Army, clip up everything from this. Now that there's silence, other people need to pass. It's like, now I got to do it. I got a lot of responsibility. I don't know if I'm fully ready for it, and I don't think I want to do it on my own. I want to do it with y'all watching, people in the creativity kit, other YouTubers and other streamers who are like-minded. We need to work together to spread this message if you believe in the truth.
So if at some point, somehow, Sneeko, you ever see this, I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. I highly doubt it. I highly fucking doubt he'll ever even know my existence. But in hopes that he does, or in hopes of at least reaching other people, and to spread awareness to this shit, the world can slowly become a better place. I doubt that that will happen, the way things are going, but hopefully we can get there. So I just need to connect my headphones real quick. First one I wanted to address, TikTok. We all know about TikTok, and recently, what was it, like 1 or 2 years ago? Some shit like that, like around 2020, when, like, sometime right after fucking COVID, TikTok blew the fuck up, because it turned in from Musical.ly to TikTok. Yes, I used to use Musical.ly. And so, essentially, it's become something, we all know the whole Chinese government thing and the data breaches and all that shit associated with TikTok, right? And it is as bad as they said, right? That is true. It is that bad. In fact, it is worse. It collects everything you could ever possibly imagine. It collects all the text messages you send, the pictures that you have on your phone, where you've been, the things you Google, like it probably connects to Google, like your Google Maps, where you've been, where you go on a daily basis, where you live, all your personal and private data. What you think no one knows about you? Well, think again, because the Chinese know you better than you know yourself. And isn't that something to behold? Because that is fucking terrifying. That is not something that I want. Now, I have a very strong opinion and theory on what exactly TikTok is being used for. We know. But I'm saying, it probably sounds fucking dumb, and I'm not gonna share it yet. I'm not sharing it yet. If you guys want to know, if anyone wants to know, you will know at some point. I will say it, but it's not gonna be right now. I'll save that.
It wasn't always obvious. In 2018, an app called TikTok came from nowhere. Back then, TikTok seemed like just another mindless app for teens, where teens and creeps would lip sync to insipid, droog-like songs. But in a matter of weeks, something changed. YouTubers, commentators, the media, TikTok became the new gold rush. To me, the app looked ugly, with a logo that didn't look quite right, but I didn't want to be out of touch. And me being curious, I eventually caved and downloaded it. And just like that, I was hooked. My mornings would be taken up by 30-second videos, my evenings stolen by the buffet of dopamine. I couldn't put it down, the endless scrolling, the constant dopamine hits, I had no control. I'd look around me, parties, gatherings, cafes, everyone was watching TikTok. I'd go online to find TikTok reaction videos on trending. I'd be bombarded by TikTok ads wherever I went. I'd walk around my city to see TikTok logos, graffiti, ads, TikTok dances everywhere. This was revolutionary. TikTok had achieved the impossible. TikTok had taken over the world. No one could escape its secret formula. Instant entertainment, constant dopamine, unlimited content, nothing could compete. TikTok was perfect. Little did I know, we were walking into a buzzsaw.
I just got flashbanged.
After hours of extensive research, I fell down a TikTok rabbit hole, and the further I went down this rabbit hole, the more horrifying things became. As what I'm telling you today has been ignored by almost all of the media, almost all of the influencers, and all of the corporate elite. And at the same time, governments around the world are beginning to understand the true scope of what's going on. So let this video be a warning to everyone who's downloaded this insidious app, and join me as we cover the raw and unfiltered truth behind TikTok. A question. Do you never want to be bored again? Do you want fame, money, to not feel left out? For success to come sooner, this is how it begins. Through tapping into your innate biological desires, TikTok has been able to achieve 3 billion downloads. But behind our addiction to this app is something sinister. Because on the back of your constant scrolling and chasing of dopamine, someone has transformed a lip-syncing app for teens into the greatest cyber threat in human history. So the question is, who?
The Chinese.
Well, to answer this, we need to go back to 2012. Back in 2012, Vine was the closest thing you'd get to TikTok, and whilst Vine was kinda big, most people fawned for Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, because in this time it seemed like Silicon Valley was on the verge of something great, unprecedented societal change. We were so caught up with our own creations that we never gave China a second thought. But back in Beijing, something was bubbling under the surface, a creature called ByteDance. Now, ByteDance wasn't just any old tech startup, it was a startup directed by a man named Zhang Yiming, and it was also a startup that was littered with Chinese officials. Zhang's first move with ByteDance was to create a news platform called Headlines. But rather than this being any old news platform that pays for editors and reporters, ByteDance was putting their money into creating the most powerful advanced AI technology imaginable. An AI system more advanced than anything seen before it. This was no accident. In this time, the Chinese government had
Why did I just see John?
more advanced than anything seen before it. This was no accident. In this time, the Chinese government had a strong desire to make AI a priority in the race for global tech dominance. But why was China so obsessed with AI? Why was the Chinese government so involved with working with this unknown tech company? To answer this, let's take a quick look at what ByteDance's AI technology was capable of. On this news site, there wouldn't be a curated feed or editors controlling the flow of information. Headlines instead used specially made AI algorithms to select and push the news robotically, with the company never having to hire a single reporter or editor. To test this highly developed AI system, ByteDance released the app to the Chinese market. And almost immediately, the algorithm worked its magic. In a matter of months, Headlines became extremely popular in China, with the site gaining 10 million users in just 3 months. There was only one issue. All content that wasn't aligned with the government's core socialist values would be a legal offense, which meant there would have to be at least one editor. That's why ByteDance went so far as to publish a statement thanking the state for its supervision, making ByteDance the first ever AI-generated propaganda machine. It was the embryonic site for much darker things to come. It's 2016 and the Chinese government is inching towards technological dominance. But if they were going to overtake Silicon Valley, they would need to expand their AI technology across the globe. Because back in the mainland, AI proved to be an incredibly effective tool for controlling the population.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now, the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well behaved.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it, and anyway, we don't have a choice.
There's a simple reason for this. By using algorithms, the Chinese government can connect all these data points from everything you do, using your travel records, friends, acquaintances, reading habits, and purchases, all to anticipate any political resistance. It's through these sorts of social credit scores and advanced AI technology that the Chinese government has gained a firm grip over 1.3 billion people. But what if China could use such technology outside of its own borders? What if China could move away from surveilling their own country to surveilling the globe? If they could, China would become invincible. It was in this time that the Chinese President Xi Jinping was making big efforts to grow China's cultural power, which is why Xi Jinping announced that China needs to increase its soft power to give the world a good Chinese narrative and better communicate China's messages to the world.
We have made significant advances on theoretical and cultural fronts.
Xi Jinping announced that, quote, "We should increase China's soft power, give a good Chinese narrative, and better communicate China's messages to the world." And this is where America's had the upper hand for decades. Through America's spread of culture and ideology, America has been able to maintain its global influence. And in recent years, this has been catalyzed by one thing: Silicon Valley. So how could Chinese tech companies possibly compete with Silicon Valley, where a tiny group of billion-dollar companies have almost monopolized the entire industry? If ByteDance were going to have any chance of competing, they would first need to create something groundbreaking. Something so advanced, so popular, so addictive, that people would have no choice but to download it. An app to control the hearts and minds of the global population. To take on such an enormous task, China would need to take this one step at a time. The first step was for Chinese tech companies like ByteDance and Tencent to start buying huge shares in social media sites. Sites like Reddit, Discord, and Snapchat, because this allowed companies like ByteDance to have a key role in company policy as a majority shareholder. But of course, buying shares in companies wasn't going to be enough. How could China create an app so addicting that it would outcompete every single social media site? To figure this out, they needed to test this technology in their own back door. So ByteDance's new venture would be with an app called Douyin, or in other words, the Chinese version of TikTok. ByteDance tested out Douyin to make sure the technology would be effective enough, and in less than a year, Douyin took over China, gaining enormous popularity, with 1 in 10 Chinese people having downloaded the app in less than a year. All because of this specially developed AI technology. It was now time for ByteDance to go global. The next step for ByteDance was a sophisticated marketing campaign. Spending $3 million a day in marketing alone just in the American market. ByteDance would then get celebrities to join in. It would saturate the media and advertising world. You'd even see the NBA signing a multi-year partnership with TikTok. And with the TikTok logo being stamped on every exported video, you'd then see this marketing begin to snowball. You'd see all these influencers on YouTube Shorts and Instagram posting their TikTok videos. You'd see celebrities promoting their garbage on TikTok.
I actually remember that. And it actually didn't even feel like it was that long ago when it like first started blowing up and everyone was like, oh my god, TikTok, get TikTok, oh my god, let me make a TikTok. Don't.
But marketing alone wasn't enough. So the next step for TikTok's growth was through the acquisition process. In this time, ByteDance noticed that fellow Chinese company Musical.ly was getting a foothold in the psyche of Generation Z. So rather than these companies trying to outcompete each other for ultimately the same goal, TikTok bought up Musical.ly for $900 million. This allowed TikTok to utilize Musical.ly's core selling point, the ability to go viral. Musical.ly provided a platform with an algorithm that rewards content above all else. Anyone could post some content and go viral the next day. Because of that, Gen Z rushed to it, allured by the prospects of fame, attention, and quick dopamine hits, using its AI technology to learn how to create the most addictive user interface possible.
And that is exactly why it is unhealthy, and that's why you don't fucking get it. That's why you don't want TikTok. That's why you don't want it. My thought is, here's my thought on this. What they want to do is find out everybody who opposes them, right? Because they're already in so much control of their own country, and anytime someone opposes them politically, right? They say that in a they literally say that in a speech. Okay, it's later in this video, don't worry about it. There's people over in China that you don't even know exist, and they know everything about you. And my thought about it is that they want to know who opposes them, because at some point all the older people, all the boomers, all the millennials are gonna die out at some point. That's just how life works. You live and you die. Okay, that's how it works. Now Gen Z, we are now so dumb that they've practically accomplished what they wanted. My thought is they want us dumbed down so that there's no longer soldiers to fight for the US, so that they can come over, declare war, take over the US, and automatically win, because no one's even smart enough with a single brain cell to know how to fight. That is exactly what TikTok is for. And if you don't believe me, well, that sucks for you, because you'll probably be dead within the next 30 years of exactly what I'm talking about. I swear to God.
There are several core psychological techniques used to addict you. The first is short videos in and of themselves.
Short. They're maybe 15 seconds or something like that. 15, 20 seconds. They're short videos. And so it's just that quick, it's almost like a little tasting menu of fabulous. You're trying this and trying that.
The reason for TikTok's initial success is that they took the knowledge companies learned from making catchy advertisements. Advertisers spend millions gathering your attention for up to 30 seconds. And oftentimes, whether you like the advert or not, you'll find they're easily digestible. So TikTok would use this video design, but instead of paying millions to make these videos, TikTok's own users would automatically use all their creativity and talent to garner some hint of virality. Then the most addicting videos made are rewarded favorably for doing so. Once people catch on to which engagement tactics work, these videos are then copied over and over again. The most catchy songs are replicated over and over, creating the cycle of people who are addicted to chasing virality. These creators then feed the masses' own addiction to these dopamine-sucking videos. But of course, not all of these videos can be addictive, and that's the point, because one of the key social engineering tactics TikTok uses is called intermittent reinforcement. I spoke about this tactic in my previous video on TikTok, but basically intermittent reinforcement is the reason why casinos are so addictive, because by not winning every time on the slot machine, you're always excited for the next hit. I mentioned in this last video on TikTok that when you expect a reward after a certain action, you tend to work less for it. Yet when the timing of the reward or the certainty we'll get it at all is unpredictable, we tend to repeat that behavior with even more enthusiasm. And so in the case of TikTok, a video has to capture users' attention very quickly to cause them to watch the whole thing. If the video doesn't catch your attention within a couple of seconds, it's swiping onto the next one. And so after countless videos fail to give you that dopamine rush, you'll finally find that gem.
The fact that you're watching this video means you are energetically aligned with me and aquafarians. But you may know them as mermaids.
Oh nah. Oh nah. This is exactly what this is what I'm talking about. This country becoming fucking dumb because everyone thinks they're like a fucking dog or a cat or some stupid shit. All like this the dumb like the fucking pronoun bullshit. Sorry, but I don't know.
And there are real consequences to this. TikTok's design is neurologically damaging. Researchers are only just beginning to understand this. Since Generation Z's infatuation with TikTok, our attention spans have dropped to the lowest levels in recorded history, with our attention spans becoming reduced to that of a goldfish. And it doesn't even stop there.
The vertical scroll, which is what you have on Facebook, for example, you're scrolling up on the news feed. But what this does is if you stop on a video and you like that video, it'll restart that video. So in a sense, you've got a horizontal scroll going on pleasurable content, and you also have a vertical scroll going.
And once the pleasure begins to dry up, you continue scrolling and the pattern repeats itself, leaving you wondering where the last few hours went. And even the small stuff like where the likes and comments icons are is purposely designed so that you can't stop wasting your time on this mindless app. And when you go onto TikTok, you'll see what I mean. The likes, comments, share, and profile buttons are on top of each other. This placement makes it the most accessible for users to click on these icons. But why is this important? Well, this layout may only be saving the user microseconds of their time, but in an app that runs on quick spurts of attention, these fractions of a second hold significant weight. When you're browsing social media on your phone, the screen you're using is very small. As a result, every little inch of that screen is immensely important, since any little distraction or element that takes away from the content at hand has the potential to drive the user away. Wasting screen space is the cardinal sin when it comes to keeping users in that entertainment high. And so with this combination of musically and addictive user design and attention-sucking short videos, TikTok has been able to feast on a generation's goldfish attention span, allowing TikTok to take over the world. Because in just 3 months after its launch, TikTok gained 30 million users. But the real question is, how could ByteDance justify spending almost $1 billion on an app that only sells ads and emojis?
I'm not gonna lie, like when I first started seeing TikTok ads, like what was it, like 2 years ago probably, I hated it. I hated the shit out of it. I'm like, I'm never fucking getting this app. This app is terrible. And then of course at some point I came to that, to the other people having it, and I'm like, let's just see what it is. Yeah, you think you hate something and you're like, I'm never gonna do it, and then you fucking do it. The only reason I have it now, use it for content awareness like this, because so many dumb fucks are on there. We gotta spread the message somehow, right? I mean, if you blow up so fast on TikTok, right, you might as well take advantage of it, make money off of it. You might as well be smart and profit off of it, and not get stuck in a depressing loop like everyone else is. Don't use it to scroll. Use it to make money. That's the big brain move right there. That's the big brain shit. That's how you win. That's how you win. That's how you win.
I mean, TikTok wants you to think that hosting a few ads and selling emojis is enough to become a multi-billion company, but to anyone looking under the surface, you realize this is far from the truth. To understand where the real money is, we first need to understand the secrets behind the TikTok formula. If China wanted TikTok to take over the globe, TikTok would need to tap into the human mind. Not only through social engineering tactics, but also through their users' data. Because this is where the real money behind TikTok lies. This is why TikTok is now considered a cyber threat. And once again, it all comes back to the TikTok algorithm. Unlike Facebook, Netflix, Spotify, and YouTube, TikTok's algorithm goes one step further.
Okay, has anyone else noticed that your For You page has been a little too accurate lately? It hasn't been things that I'll Google or I talk about. It's been thoughts.
TikTok knows everything about us.
But how does TikTok know which videos will addict you?
Did you see that shit? Location? Hold on. Did you see? Hold on.
And thoughts. TikTok.
Oh, they're crossing it everything. It knows everything. That's exactly what I was saying. It knows fucking everything. It probably connects to Google. It connects everything to your phone. And the guy's probably going to say it pretty soon in the video. Nobody reads the privacy policy. I mean, nobody does. I mean, I'll admit it, I don't. But for the smart people, the very small percentage of smart people that do, it says exactly what it's doing. And it's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
TikTok knows everything about us.
But how does TikTok know which videos will addict you? Well, this all starts to become clear as soon as you begin reading TikTok's privacy page. A privacy page that literally admits to collecting as much data from you as possible.
And what kind of data is TikTok collecting as it runs on our phones? A heck of a lot more than you would think. Images, of course, that users post. But TikTok also collects information about the messages that you send, about the apps that you use, the other apps on your phone. It collects the sites that you visit. It collects your search history. It collects your keystrokes.
Are you reading this shit? Hold on. I'm not making... Look at it. Read this. I can read it better on here. We collect information about the device you use to access the platform, including your IP address. So they, again, like I said, they know where you fucking live. Unique device identifiers, model of your device. So they know exactly what kind of phone you have. If you have a certain iPhone, like you have an iPhone 13, they're going to know that. They're going to have what model. Probably the serial number too. I wouldn't doubt it. Your mobile carrier. Also like your service provider. Time zone setting. Screen resolution, operating system, app, and file names, keystroke patterns, and rhythms. Oh my god. That is too much. Time zone setting. So like they can mix the IP, they can take your IP and your time zone setting and they can find exactly where you live. That's a problem. That's a problem. If you're still watching this, right? If you watched this far into the video, thank you, because this actually needs to be known, because a lot of people don't actually know about this shit. Either they don't know about it or they don't fucking care. And if you don't care, this is what they know about you. You probably think, oh, it doesn't matter, they just know. Dude, they know fucking everything. How does this not make you uncomfortable? Like, this is fucking terrible. This should literally be illegal. I don't know why it's not. This should literally be fucking illegal.
And so using all of this data, TikTok understands you better than you understand yourself. It predicts your future behavior. It learns at every second what you want and what you will do. And no, this isn't like Google or Facebook stealing your data and selling off to advertisers. This information is being used to tap into your biological hardwiring and, most importantly, to fund China's openly stated goal of world domination. Now this may...
That's what I was saying. That's what I was fucking saying. World domination. They use it for world domination. You know why? Dumb us down so we can't fight. Because eventually, all the other people, the boomers and the millennials, everyone that was previously soldiers, all the actually smart people, right? All the good people in the army, everyone trained. For the very few that are left now for our military to protect us, that are actually smart, oof.
Now this may sound a little extreme, it may sound exaggerated, but I promise you it's anything but. Chinese President Xi Jinping has a dream, a Chinese dream of global dominance.
任何力量能够撼动我们伟大祖国的地位，没有任何力量能够阻挡中国人民和中华民族的 前进步伐。
With this has come some new laws that coincide directly with TikTok. Since China adopted the National Intelligence Law in 2017, all Chinese citizens and companies have been under a legal obligation to help the government gather intelligence, whilst also keeping any cooperation with the government a secret.
And we also know that under Chinese law, TikTok, ByteDance, the parent, is required to share data with the Chinese Communist Party. Required to under Chinese law. That's not a matter of speculation. That's in the law.
And it is required under Chinese law to share user data with Beijing. And TikTok has admitted that it has sent user data to China.
And so with TikTok collecting so much user data, the fact that TikTok is half run by the Chinese government, and now with the passing of this new law, TikTok is beyond problematic. Which is why several countries have been quick to ban TikTok. TikTok, along with 223 other Chinese applications, were banned by India.
Yeah, why don't we just ban fucking TikTok, dude? Okay, actually, I think I can answer that question for myself, and it's also because this country also does the same thing with a lot of other apps, but that does not disregard TikTok and everything. It doesn't make it okay. It's still fucking ridiculous. Like, I know I'll talk about it in another video, but the US is also fucking terrible with, you know, like Facebook and all that shit. Selling user data. Mark Zuckerberg.
TikTok, along with 223 other Chinese applications, were banned by India.
Indian government has banned dozens of Chinese-owned apps over apparent security concerns. Now, the list includes the messaging service WeChat and the wildly popular video platform TikTok.
The Indian government claimed this was because they were damaging to India's sovereignty, integrity, defense, security, and public order. And this is why Trump signed an order to ban TikTok. In the order, Trump said that there is credible evidence that leads him to believe that ByteDance might take action that threatens to impair the national security of the United States. But with America's heated politics, Joe Biden could let Trump have this legal victory and revoke Trump's ban on TikTok. Although it wouldn't take long for Biden to realize this was a huge mistake. He literally had to admit later on that TikTok is, quote, a matter of genuine concern. In addition to this, militaries around the world have banned TikTok on all personal devices.
Since our last hearing on this subject, the Pentagon, the Department of State, the Department of Homeland Security, and the TSA have all banned their employees and service members from using TikTok on government devices. In fact, the Pentagon even went so far as to say that employees should have their children uninstall TikTok from their personal devices.
But you may be asking, why does this matter? Why is TikTok labeled a national security threat? Why are governments around the world beginning to think that TikTok is the biggest cyber threat of the modern era? Well, stick with me here, because we're going to need to radically change the way you've been seeing TikTok.
The day is coming when the politicians realize that these social media platforms are picking the next president, the next congressman. They're literally picking.
This is where true power in the modern day lies, because the people who control the algorithms are the people rewiring your brain. They are controlling the spread of information, they program the culture, and with TikTok now being the most downloaded app for several consecutive years, the results are becoming apparent.
I'm vaccinated, caffeinated, and freshly masturbated.
On the Chinese version of TikTok, all videos seen as degenerate by the Chinese government are actively removed, and yet at the same time, the algorithm promotes videos of hardworking, everyday people sharing their life and work accomplishments. As you could expect, these videos are generally wholesome, upbeat, and positive, with there being a literal section on the Chinese TikTok called Positive Energy to promote the Communist Party. But in the West, TikTok promotes the exact opposite. On our version of TikTok, we're bombarded with endless insipid videos of girls shaking their ass to music, where we become obedient, placid consumers slumped open in front of screens. And this trend couldn't be better summed up with the rise of OnlyFans. In recent years, the rise of OnlyFans has been catalyzed by the wave of TikTok videos of OnlyFans models alluring desperate, atomized lonely simps to fork over the hard-earned cash for a virtual girlfriend experience. Top OnlyFans creators have spoken out about how TikTok has enabled them to become these hyper-affluent online stars.
So today, we are going to be going over how you can use TikTok to get OnlyFans.
Okay, like, I fucking hate people that will sit there and be like, oh, if he does this, it's a red flag. It's the red flags for me. But like, seriously though, if you ever have like, I don't understand how some people are okay with this. if you ever have a girlfriend or something, how are you okay with her just showing her body off to the internet, like with OnlyFans or something? How are you okay with that?
I think we're all like the main people on OnlyFans are roughly earning the same. I think at the moment it's like $1 million a month.
$1 million a month. $1 million a fucking month. It's $1 million a month to sit there that all these fucking women make. They make $1 million a month off all the little stupid simps sitting there fucking jerking it to them. They make $1 million a month. And and so many women want to sit there and say that they're still oppressed and that they still don't have enough pay, or they want to sit there and argue about fucking feminism and be all like, oh, well, we want equal pay. Well, shut the fuck up. The average amount of money, like the amount of money that like an average American makes is what, like 35 grand or something like that a year. If you're making $1 million in a fucking month, dude, for literally just to sit there and shake your ass and show people your tits, I mean, dude, that's fucking ridiculous. Imagine if a dude tried to go on there and just like have videos of him jerking off. You're not gonna. I don't think he'd really get any fucking views, to be honest, because it's just how the society works.
This phenomenon wouldn't be happening anywhere near as quickly if not for TikTok, where TikTok is catalyzing this wave of desperate simps to hand over the money to these people who influence their everyday lives. And this became very apparent when a Wall Street Journal investigation on TikTok found that when you said you were 13 years old and searched for OnlyFans on the app, the algorithm would bombard you with videos about adult entertainment and drugs. The power TikTok yields over the younger generations is becoming more and more apparent. People are starting to see that through TikTok's AI technology and sophisticated algorithms, TikTok is able to create trends that radically influence the lives of so many in Generation Z. TikTok is
I need to read this shit. Hold on.
able to create trends.
TikTok fails to control the spread of dangerous content. Vandalism closed schools and new slap a teacher challenge may put educators at risk. I am urging TikTok to come to meet with educators and parents and commit to reforms that stop this reckless content. Oh my god. I remember when all those stupid fucking trends went around on TikTok, when everybody was like, let me hit a lick. Or they do the stupid fucking, like, they hit a lick from school, and I've seen videos where people would literally steal, like, a whole ass toilet. Not to mention the fact that you're dumb enough to fucking steal something from a building that's owned by the fucking government and post it on social media. How fucking dumb. Let me look this up. Let me fucking hold on. Let me look this up. See, this is what I'm talking. This is what I'm talking about. I found it. This is what I'm talking about. I found it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. What is school licks challenge? When was this? Oh yeah. See, 2021. I remember that. See, See, this was literally from October 20. This was literally less than a fucking year ago. I remember this shit. This was so dumb. This actually pissed me off how fucking stupid people were. Just last month, a viral theme on the social media platform TikTok led to widespread damage in schools across the country, known as the Devious Licks. That's what it was, the Devious Licks challenge. It encouraged students to record themselves stealing or vandalizing school property, then posting the video online. That is so dumb. Why the fuck would you ever commit a straight up fucking crime? I don't know what charge you would get for that, but it might even be a felony. Yeah, theft, that's a felony, dude. You're committing a fucking felony that will go on your record for the rest of your goddamn life, and you're just sitting there fucking posting it on social media. You're so dumb. Anyone that did that, you're so dumb. You're so fucking dumb. I mean, at least I hope you actually get out of that mindset thinking that's funny. But, like, you're dumb. You're dumb for that.
TikTok is able to create trends that radically influence the lives of so many in Generation Z. And what's scary is that so many of TikTok's core audience are barely even adults. TikTok users are being influenced into emulating these trends that are highly toxic and polluting to society. But of course, these trends are manifesting things far worse than degenerate behavior. The spread of political disinformation and infiltration of Chinese propaganda.
I'm not gonna say names or anything, but one of my friends apparently had another attempt, and that's I'm gonna try to finish this video, and then I'm gonna just go and see what I can fucking do about that, cause Hold on, let me move my fucking. Oh yeah, I wanted to read one. I wanted to read one of these.
For behavior.
Fighting the urge to tell my grandma to kill herself. Something. Then she's going through my computer for evidence I am being groomed. This is literally, what the fuck is wrong with people, dude? You're being groomed, and your grandma is probably trying to look out for you, and you tell her to kill herself? Dude, I'm dealing with this. You don't fucking say that shit to people. Oh, you're dumb. Oh, you're so dumb. How the fuck y'all be...
Spread of political disinformation and infiltration of Chinese propaganda is now a serious concern to all of us. This first became apparent on the Western version of TikTok when pro-Hong Kong posts, anti-CCP posts, pro-Tibet content, and anything spreading awareness of the persecution of Uyghur Muslims was all removed. And this concern takes a further serious turn in light of recent reports that Zhenyu Data, which has reported links to the Chinese military and intelligence networks, has collected personal details of about 2.4 million people outside of China, with pretty much all of this data being sourced from TikTok. The former editor of the Hong Kong Economic Journal wrote in a column that TikTok is reaching deep into offices and homes, shaping how Americans understand real-world events. He went on to explain that while China's move to establish physical footholds around the world was easy enough to recognize, China's quote soft power ambitions have been much less noticed until recently, where China is using highly developed AI technology and powerful algorithms to erode free speech and Western culture. It's for this reason why ByteDance has pledged to hire 10,000 sensors to identify and block anti-government content. Now, I already know that some of you will think I'm fear-mongering, but when you look into China's history and current political motives, you start to realize how daunting the situation truly is.
China is also notorious for using its big tech companies to track and predict the behavior of its own citizens, as seen in this 60 Minutes report from last year. China's stated goal is to become the world leader in artificial intelligence by 2030.
This is exactly what I was saying. We are so fucked if we don't get our act together. That is why I'm making these videos. I'm not trying to be a wannabe Sneeko. I'm not trying to be a wannabe Tate. This is literally what is going on in the world. I'm trying to spread this shit to you so people understand that this is a problem. Be smart. Oh my god, this is a fucking issue.
Senator Hawley fears China is doing the same thing here. Just last February, the Department of Justice charged 4 Chinese military hackers with stealing records from the credit reporting agency Equifax, affecting 145 million Americans, almost half the country. China has been caught hacking the second largest American health insurer, the agency that stores information about all government employees, even records from the Marriott hotel chain. Hawley says TikTok is just the friendly face of Chinese data harvesting. So what would the Chinese Communist Party do with all this information?
Build dossiers, build files on every American who they can get their hands on. We could ask the same question about the Equifax breach. Why would the Chinese government be interested in the financial history of hundreds of millions of Americans? What are they going to do with that? Well, clearly, they thought it was very, very useful.
But when you look at Xi Jinping's admiration for Mao, it all begins to make sense. During the Communist Revolution, Mao became infamous for conquering the countryside to capture the cities. This method was used not only for Mao's Communist Revolution, but also for Mao's dream of world domination, where the world's most developed countries were seen as the cities, and the world's less developed countries were the countryside. This is why in recent years, China has gained a strong foothold across Africa and the Middle East. And now the next frontier is to gain a strong foothold in the global culture. Because if you can control the culture, you control the population. And as Xi Jinping declared, it is time to, quote, dare to draw the shining sword. So while the West becomes addicted to TikTok, where the West has their attention spans reduced to that of a goldfish, where people can't go 5 minutes without checking their phone absorbed by TikTok degeneracy, where we are having our brains literally rewired, China is now training their youth to prepare for war.
That's what I was saying. They're making us dumb, and they're making themselves smart, preparing them for war. We know nothing. We're all fucked.
压迫、奴役我们，谁妄想这样干，必将。
Do you read it? Read it. fucking read it. Anyone who dares try to do that will have their heads bashed.
And today, this process is being catalyzed by Xi Jinping's Rejuvenation of the Nation project, which entails the banning of effeminate sissy men on TV, banning excessive video game usage, teaching children Xi Jinping's school of thought, teaching children how to use military equipment, and having schools have distinct masculine and feminine school curriculums. And today,
oh, because if people did that here, if they had masculine and feminine school curriculums here, oh, the schools would get shut down. Again, this is how fucking dumb this country is. Everyone, I'm going to talk about this in another video more, but everyone is so, everyone here is so worried about pronouns and how they identify and masculine and feminine and all that stupid, like all the stupid pronoun and all that dumb bullshit. When they're out here, literally, they're gonna fucking invade our ass. I kid you not. The signs are all fucking there. It's all laid out on a fucking blueprint, and literally no one's fucking paying attention to it. And everyone, like, I've tried to tell some people this, and they just think I'm fucking crazy. Or they're just like, not quite. I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I mean, if you look at it, you got kind of proof right here. Like look at this shit. It really adds up, and it's not okay.
And today, it is now mandatory for Chinese students to read The Art of War. And as you'd expect, this has come with rampant military propaganda. So while the West is swamped by visual diarrhea of grotesque TikTok videos promoting crime, degeneracy, OnlyFans and the CCP, the Chinese are trained to become stoic with a warlike spirit inoculated to degeneracy. This stark contrast between the Chinese version of TikTok and ours serves to highlight how effective TikTok's AI technology is in manipulating the masses. Psychological weapons like TikTok have been used throughout history, from the Persians using cats as a psychological tactic against the ancient Egyptians.
But quick side note, a lot of people on TikTok are so sad and like they promote so much sadness and depression and anxiety. Like they promote it, like they're saying it's okay. Like I'm not sitting here shaming people for it, but I mean, why would you just sit there and just be complacent? Like this country promotes complacency. That's the fucking problem, is they promote being okay with where you are and not striving to be better. That's a problem. You should always want to be better. You should always want to be better than yourself literally yesterday, because there's always things you can improve on. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fuck up. You should always want to strive and be better. There's no reason to just sit here and be like, oh, well, my girlfriend left me and cheated on me, and just sit and eat fucking McDonald's and play video games all day like a fat fuck. I mean, come on. I'm not being an asshole, it's the truth. You know what I mean? Like, don't just sit there and wallow in your sorrows. It's not gonna do anything for you. I mean, use your fucking brain for once.
To Alexander the Great enforcing Greek culture against his opponents, to the British and using their global media networks to control the narrative of World War I. These psychological experiments have always been hidden away and more often than not, slip by under the public's noses. But now in our current Cold War, these tactics have become more and more advanced. And right now, the most dangerous psychological weapon we face is TikTok. According to US military analysts, attacking the enemy's psyche is a key part of China's military strategy. The Chinese stratagems established by Sun Tzu in The Art of War was the foundation for this form of warfare, so it shouldn't be any surprise why The Art of War is mandatory reading. But then this all begs the question, why is China going to all of this effort? All the government employees, all the high-tech algorithms, all the social engineering, all the spying. Why is China so desperate to influence Western culture? Well, like all psychological weapons, there's only one reason for their usage: to destroy the enemy. Before I began making this video, TikTok's growth was never obvious. TikTok seemed like an anomaly, because somehow, in just a matter of months, I went from never knowing TikTok to seeing my friends, family, and self all become enveloped by its algorithm. Back then, we were in blissful ignorance to a force that has been brewing for decades, a brew now reaching its boiling point. Since the Cold War, the idea of World War III was always thrown around. Throughout this time, civil wars, skirmishes, propaganda all created the sense of uncertainty, but this feeling was never existential. Our enemies were always the underdogs. They were poorer with lower grade equipment, they had no influence on mainstream culture, they were just this hidden, mysterious force, far from the clutches of regular life. And when this tense time finally came to a close in 1991, people felt liberated. Like the threat of World War III was really just a fantasy after all. It was something to talk about for fun, but never an idea to be taken too seriously. Yes, there were threats from the Middle East, Russia and North Korea, but it was never anything we couldn't handle. At the same time, we fueled China's growth. We bought their cheap products, their materials and their lies. In just a matter of decades, China went from being a third world country with a GDP of 90 billion to having a GDP of $12 trillion, a number now fast overtaking the United States. This growth has never been seen before in history. Admittedly, we knew this was coming, but none of us had any real reason to be concerned. At least, we didn't think there was. China's just that place we make our iPhones, we told ourselves. So over the years, we shipped off our entire economy to China. Banking moguls on Wall Street propped up the Chinese economy with billions in investments. Elected officials in the UK did their part by selling out the country's core infrastructure and national energy grid to China. Talking heads in Washington did their part by telling the public that the real threat to the West was Putin and his army of Macedonian troll farms. And us? We bought into China's surveillance technology and downloaded TikTok en masse. Because we were in our own little bubble. Our main concern was celebrities.
Blam.
Crap. Political scandals.
Orange man bad.
Orange man bad.
Orange man.
Orange man.
And cheap hedonistic pursuits. But like any bubble, there was always a burst, and our burst came in 2020.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. I don't
From
like
the very
it,
beginning, it was never about TikTok. TikTok is just a means to an end, a tool and an operation. All the TikTok dances, TikTok ads, all the lip syncing, it was a facade for something sinister, something greater, something known as the 2049 plan. Now, what does this entail? Well, as you can imagine, it's not something to be taken lightheartedly. China's push for world domination has been government policy for the last 50 years and is embodied within the Chinese spirit. For decades now, China has manipulated us into believing that China was just another capitalist state, dissolving its ideological ties to Marxism. But this couldn't be any further from the truth. China's intent has been to acquire as much money, physical power, and technological control as possible. And China has gained the money, China has gained the physical power, and now China is controlling technology. And so it's no coincidence that just in line with the 2049 plan, TikTok suddenly took over the psyche of millennials and Generation Z. And that's the genius behind all of this. China is engaging in a war and we didn't even realize we were a part of it. China is taking over the world economically. China is taking over the world militarily, secretly building up its army reserve.
Top U.S. military officer General Mark Milley provided the first official U.S. confirmation of what he called a, quote, very concerning Chinese hypersonic weapons test that military experts say appears to show Beijing's pursuit of an Earth-orbiting system designed to evade American missile defenses.
China's now got the largest navy and is training its youth to become warlike robots. China has infiltrated the West with countless spies that have slept with the heads of the national security.
A bombshell new report says a suspected Chinese spy targeted California politicians. And one of her biggest targets was Bay Area Representative Eric Swalwell.
China is taking over the universities and schools across the West. And now China is taking over the culture. It took until 2020 when the bubble burst did we catch on to what was going on. We had been played. A sudden novel virus emerging from China, a sudden militarization of China's military, a sudden realization.
That's right, because didn't everyone always say that fucking coronavirus? I can't fucking say it or they're probably gonna censor my shit, right? They're gonna take it down for misinformation. Didn't it come from fucking China though? This is ridiculous, dude.
A sudden realization of the national security threat TikTok posed? We were finally confronted with the truth. It has taken until today when governments and elites are beginning to wake up to this dawning realization that World War III is no longer a fantasy. Our governments, having been hesitant to even consider the thought of banning TikTok, are now realizing the grave danger we are in. China is currently telling its military to prepare for war. China is taking foreign hostages within its own country. China is rapidly building up its military. China is developing AI technology never seen before in the West. And China is now not only engaging in skirmishes with our allies, but is now preparing for a full-blown war with Taiwan, sending over more than 150 fighter jets to surround Taiwan. As a last resort, our governments have joined a pact to begin countering China's preparation for war. But perhaps it's too late. With our society more divided than ever, with our politicians weaker than ever, with our youth more controlled than ever, when you connect all these dots, you start to realize where the real wealth behind TikTok lies.
Our own fucking president can't go up the goddamn stairs, dude. Oh, we're Oh, we're done. Oh, we're done.
When you connect all these dots, you start to realize where the real wealth behind TikTok.
Yeah, see, there it was, BLM versus ALM, because again, everybody's so focused on fucking race and identifications and all that stupid bullshit that no one's actually focused on what's actually going on, that's actually important in the world. Like, everyone gets so pressed if you identify them incorrectly and you're not worrying about real world shit. Oh my god.
When you connect all these dots, you start to realize where the real wealth behind TikTok lies. It lies in our addiction. It lies in our shortened attention spans. It lies in our own demise. TikTok allows China to gain vast sums of money from playing on our own psychology, promising you that dopamine hit, that dream, that attention, dangling it in front of you like a carrot on a stick, disguised as an innocent little app. But there are those of you that are concerned with what's going on, those of you who care about your privacy, those of you who care about your attention, those of you who understand the other side. And so to those of you who feel this way, I feel the need to remind you to delete TikTok, because if we want a high quality future, we must reject our low quality present.
There you go. If that wasn't enough proof for you, I don't know what would be. If you still don't believe me, that's fine, because I will have a surplus of other videos to react to similar to this and other things about this kind of bullshit and everything we kind of talked about. I'm fucking done. I gotta go deal with my personal shit now. So, oh god. See you guys maybe tomorrow or something. I have no fucking idea when I'll probably be streaming.